Hi everyone, thank you for joining us for this episode today and for being a part of the Active Minds Q&A. My name is Michaela and I am here with Marion and Matthew, and we are provisional psychologists at Monash University. So for those who might have only just discovered about the Active Minds webpage, we are collaborating with Active Monash to basically provide online support for mental health during this COVID-19 pandemic. And we're doing this by answering questions which have been submitted by those within the Active Monash community. So the question which we will be addressing in today's episode is, does prolonged stress weaken the immune system? I'll now pass on to Matthew, who'll be giving us a bit of context to this question.
So a key concept to help us understand prolonged stress and the effect that this can have on immune system functioning is through concepts known as allostasis and allostatic load. So when we experience challenges within our environment or something stressful, such as if you had to meet deadlines at work, there are many physiological responses that occur from different internal systems within our body that help us to cope with that stressful period. And this is known as allostasis. So for example, we may experience an increase in heart rate, blood pressure, or an increase in arousal overall. These are normal physiological responses, and these will switch off and return back to normal once that stressful period is over or has been dealt with. However, if there is repeated or chronic exposure to that stressful period, so say if you are having to meet deadlines constantly at work or are constantly stressed at work, this leads to allostatic load, which is the wear and tear on the body. This can lead to a hormonal imbalance, such as affecting levels of glucose and insulin, and can also lead to an increase in stress hormones being released, such as cortisol. This hormonal imbalance and increase in stress hormones that results from allostatic load can compromise our immune system functioning. And this will be elaborated further by Marion.
Thanks, Matt. So I'm just going to explain how the immune system works. Your immune system is important because it defends against foreign bodies, including viruses and bacteria, and we call these antigens. It does this through your white blood cells in two different ways. Firstly, they produce antibodies, which destroys viruses or bacteria. And secondly, they can get inside infected cells in your body and destroy them. Now, what happens with prolonged stress with this hormone imbalance is as cortisol is increased, it decreases the amount of white blood cells in the body, meaning the immune system's not working as well. Therefore, it loses its ability to fight the antigens inside your body. On a small level, this is actually okay, and it's not likely to cause much problems. In fact, some cases it can reduce inflammation. However, over a long period of time, as there's chronic suppression of your white blood cells, you're very vulnerable to attacks by bacteria and viruses. Now I'm going to pass to Michaela about the possible physiological signs that you can have that you're suffering from prolonged stress.
Thanks, Marion. So basically adding on to what Matt and Marion have said so far, stress does have the ability to weaken the immune system. It is not just a response that has emotional symptoms such as agitation or frustration or moodiness. Rather, it can manifest as physical conditions, including muscle aches and pains, headaches, stomach aches, inflammation, and even strokes and heart conditions. So this sort of highlights the importance of not only addressing these physical conditions and ensuring that you treat those, but also making sure you attend to any sort of problematic stress that you might be experiencing, as they may be the reasons for your physical conditions that you're also experiencing as well. So guys, I'm going to open it up to you guys and get some ideas about what you think or what sort of ideas we can give to the Active Monash community as to how they can reduce stress to protect and strengthen their immune system.
Well, I think, Mika, one really important part is to try and get enough sleep. And unfortunately, when you're stressed, this is something that can get really badly affected. You get stressed out, it affects your level of sleep, and then you don't sleep well, you don't think well the next day, your stress is even greater. And it's a big issue for a lot of people. So one of the things I would recommend is trying to improve your sleep, which will help you think better and help you work through your stress the next day. But a problem that a lot of people have is they can't sleep because they're stressed. So a really simple solution to this one is to write what's called a stress diary. So at night before you go to bed, write down all of the things that are stressing you out. And the most important part of this is promise yourself that you'll deal with it the next day and actually deal with it. Because if you promise yourself you're going to deal with it and you don't, it's not going to work again the next time. Yeah, but you find you give yourself permission to go to sleep, be aware that you'll feel better the next day, and then you can deal with your problems the next day. It's not going to solve everything, but if you sleep better, you'll think better. Matt, you got something?
Yeah, I've got it's a great strategy, Marion. And I also have another key strategy that can be used. So something that's been found to help reduce emotional arousal, stress, blood pressure, and levels of anxiety is listening to music. So particularly this strategy will work best if you listen to music that you prefer. So whatever music that you're into, this can be slow or upbeat, could be rock, country, jazz, whatever it is that you like. And it's recommended to listen to that for 15 to 20 minutes per day. And it can be through your headphones or through a speaker. It can be when you go for a walk. It could be when you're lying in bed or on the couch. Whatever it is that will best fit your needs. So it is a really effective, versatile and simple strategy that can be applied anywhere and anytime. I'll also now pass you on to Michaela, who has some recommendations for some resources that you can use to further help manage your stress.
Yeah, thanks guys. They were really great strategies, and I'm sure a lot of people will find them useful. Now I just wanted to let you guys know that there are a lot of resources available to you online if you are experiencing any sort of stress. And just be aware that stress is inevitable. It's a normal part of life. And it's basically the way that we just naturally respond to any sort of tough events or situations. So I just wanted to show you guys on the Active Monash website under the Wellness portal, which can be found under the Active at Home tab. There are a lot of great informative resources here, which also includes some practical activities as well. So mindfulness and meditation, there are breathing and relaxation exercises as well. In addition to this, there are also some additional support services available to you guys if you are wanting any sort of further information. If you might be experiencing any sort of more chronic or severe stress, then we do encourage that you do seek the appropriate support for this by going and having a chat to your GP. So I will pass you on to Matthew, who will now wrap this up for us.
Thanks, Michaela. So we hope overall that we were able to provide you with a better understanding of how prolonged stress manifests, particularly through allostatic load and the potential impact that this could have on immune system functioning. We also hope that our practical recommendations and the resources just provided by Michaela can help to manage any stresses that you may be experiencing. We thank you very much for listening. We hope that you and your family are well.